All right, we've done something unorthodox because this is wild and we can't miss it. I need to update the brackets. We've got Dumu versus Killjadi. This is semi-finals for midweek muster number 8. A must-see. We cannot miss it. We're catching up to live now in 4x. We start off with Rus versus Abbasid. Okay, this is kind of cool, actually. We've seen a lot of Rus. We've seen some Abbasids. We've seen some of them win. But what's very interesting to me is that we haven't seen these two clash so far. I don't think we've once had that be the case. I'm excited for this, man. So yeah, Killjadi versus Dumu. Shout out to the mods for getting the prediction set up. This could be a really tight series. Remember, this is going to be a best of 5 between these two. That's right, we're getting some distance now in these sets. I couldn't skip this one. We had to catch this live. So yeah, Dumu, I think historically is pretty favored against Killjadi. Like, he has a very good farm rate on him on the ladder. But Killjadi has been cooking more and more. And I think it's very different when you get into these tournament formats. It's going to be interesting to see if Rus can get the leg up, because although they haven't been winning every game, they still seem to be the de facto go-to in a lot of people's eyes on this map. And we've seen why. The numbers are frankly absurd. The amount of resources this Civ can get through passive gen is through the roof. Why 2x speed? Because we're catching up a little bit towards live in the early game when there's no pressure. So we have 2 TC. It's about to be 3 TC versus Fast Castle with High Trade House. We'll slow it down once we're in Castle Age, but I figured you guys would want live, and legit, the opening of the game is just them walling and building their eco. It looks like they're neck and neck as well. Wow, sheep count is even Stevens, but of course we did see the Pro Scouts plays coming out. Even snatched deer from the secondary TC. This is going to be protected though, so that was a really good read by Dumu to get this up quick enough. It's just going to be, what, about 2.5 deer stacks to 1.5? That's actually really good for Ben. Considering like the leverage you're meant to be able to get off the Pro Scouts for Rus, getting so little isn't going to feel great, but what? Okay, dude, we've got a Killjadi classic. Sorry, just send a message quickly. Okay, I'm actually... Is he doing meta arms rush? Dude, we are 100% getting a meta arms rush in game 1. I can't believe this. This is fantastic. Oh my god. The only upside for Dumu is he's going to scout it. The downside is he went 3 TC against a meta arms rush. Dude, you need the wall up right now. No, no, no. No, it's not going to go up in time, surely. The quick wall, Killjadi intercepts, and Dumu has the bell! Oh no! Are you kidding me? We have triple racks, and he uses one of them to block the wall. And not just that. What the Okay, we had to catch up to live. We had to because people complain otherwise. Are you kidding me? Not only does he get the proxy racks, it blocks the double berries. So that means that Dumu has the deer down here and nothing else. He's exhausted on the sheep. He's got, what, like 8 left? Less than 8. He's got the final deers here, 2 there. He's going to get food starved. I can't believe this. Was this intentional from Killjadi? I feel like Killjadi saw the spawn. He's like, well, that's going to be a problem. And what a freaking read it was. Dumu now trying to get the camel archers, but they are slow to reduce. Undermesh already in for Killjadi. Oh, this is an insane opening game. We were just saying how Dumu usually seems to be farming Killjadi on the ladder. The results definitely feeling a little bit Dumu biased. But right now, it looks like Benny Boy's about to get farmed. Holy crap. Well played. High Trade House in the corner is generating, what, 259 gold a minute? So he's got 300 plus passive gold gen already. Men at Arms gets start forcing the other time as well. That's most of Dumu's lead, actually almost the entire lead. Not working right now. We've even got the proxy archer ranges. He's going archers. Okay, so yeah, good counter to the camel archers. His opponent hasn't teched up yet, so he sees no reason to change unit type. Also, a brilliant counter if Dumu pivots into crossbows, which is his only realistic play from here. Oh my god. He has at least got wheelbarrow. We've got some wacky walls. It's just crazy. Dimu desperately needs blacksmiths into Steeled Arrow. The problem is he doesn't even have his tech started yet. He's investing in camel archers. Oh my god. When he sees the archers, I think he might just curtains closed it. Right? Like, it kind of feels like you're countered at that point. What a freaking game. Sacred Site now also locked in by Kiljadi. And Relics on the way home. Meanwhile, the Men-at-Arms are having a party everywhere. We at least have textiles from Dimu to try and give himself a bit more life in this game. Oh, man. Every time I see Kiljadi do Men-at-Arms rushes, I just get flashbacks to the little old lad who used to go proxy rack. Oh, sorry, Dark Age Men-at-Arms is English. Yeah, like I think I said this in previous Abbasid games. Even when they win, I don't like the free TC blind. I feel like usually when you're against fast castle, 2 TC feels nicer. I get why Dimu done this, by the way. The logic is he gets the walls up because it's mass horse archers. He was not expecting Men-at-Arms spam. I mean, who would from Roos, right? This is a civ that just every single game right now is defined by horse archers. Instead, this one is going to be defined by something a bit slower moving, but a bit more emphatic upon arrival. Oh my god. I mean, this high trade house is just... on this map, it gives you everything you need. Like, I don't think he has... He has 0 people on gold right now. It's just all passive income. And that passive income is 600 a minute. Dive coming in. This is becoming unwinnable. Dimu, he does have 10 camel archers, so in theory there's some hope there, but the archers really are the counter. Camels are at least dealing with the small ripple of Men-at-Arms getting through, but the villager losses are stacking up now. Look at this, he's going to get pinched on both sides. There's a trickle of troops coming in, a gabble if you will. That's all he really needs, Dimu. There's no safe point for these villagers anymore. Oh, he's dead. The good news is this is best of 5 territory, so we go in at least 2 more games between these two. But Kiljadi has started off this series with a strong, firm statement. The statement's Roos is OP, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, a lot of players have been banning him, and Kiljadi just showed you why. Game 1, going to the Fin. Okay, this... Wait, what's this map? Do you guys even notice this map? This is the first time I've seen this. Well, no, welcome back to our semi-finals of Midweek Muster number 8. We had a very quick game number 1, courtesy of catching up to live, but also because Kiljadi does not wait around. This is Boardland. It's just, look at the spawn orientation. I don't think I've had this happen with Boardland yet. We've got a north-south, which I actually like. I think I was saying on a certain other map, I think it was for Archipelago, I'd love to see variants of spawns. I think it's refreshing because it makes the maps feel fresh. We'll get the predictions up now. But we have got Kiljadi on one of his signatures. He got Jeanne D'Arc. And he's going to look to dunk on the English in this one, which is quite funny because historically, this is a very tough matchup for Jeanne. RL and in-game. Because usually the issue used to be Jeanne would go into the melee form, she'd just get sniped by Lombos. So you got forced into archer form, and there wasn't a good reason to be in archer form. This is still going to be tough for different reasons. Instead of being mass Lombos, it is going to be the classic 2 TC build coming out from the English. This is how classic Borderlands spawns. There's a 12.5% chance for it to be like this. Really? That low? Man, that's kind of crazy. I'm glad we get to see it, though. It's actually, it's nice. Like I said, I like when maps have this variance. Like, imagine how boring Dry Arabia would be by now if it literally always spawned you the exact same way, the exact same orientation. So yeah, cool to see it actually coming out for once. Because we've cast a lot of Borderland, and it's always been west versus east. So, second TC, I imagine it's going to be tree and gold line. Yeah, like, this isn't anything special spawn-wise. He could shove in the deer, which is kind of worthwhile, but you don't want to have to do that with the king. The king wants to get raiding. Speaking of which, he can intercept Jeanne. Yeah, if you just go for Jeanne... I'm kind of shocked by Kiljadi on this, but the dive-in might be worth it. He finds the villagers building it up. Oh, a little bit of a miss micro there, though. Kiljadi wasn't paying attention. Benny Boy pulls away perfectly there. The reason that's important is if that had been charging onto a not moving villager, that would have been a kill, right? But what happened is he saw the villagers pulled away, switched targets. It would have taken 3 hits to kill. It was just too long. And the king, man. He's done a good job. If Jeanne was there, there would have been injuries. Dimmu played this opening really well. The king brought phenomenal time there because Jeanne is just going to give you that finishing touch, right? So now you have an awkward situation. Killjoy can't dive this, right? English TCs are obnoxious. The attack speed, there's the secondary TC not being expected first, but the first being ridiculous with the ×2 arrows. Like the blocker on the deer. This is really important. Killjoy can't give anything over for free to Ben. Dimmu, let's have a look at the split. Yeah, so 11 sheep for Killjoy. Actually a pretty healthy 14 for Ben. And I think Killjoy probably has to go pro scouts here. He either goes pro scouts or goes for ram rush. Or outpost rush. Okay, so to break down the two choices, you can go pro scouts and play long, but you're going to have to consider 2 TC. Or think about it this way. The king is annoying, but the king is only annoying if you let him get out of the base. Instead of going pro scouts, Killjoy can just play pocket resources. Instead, though... Okay, no, this is just about the outpost. I was about to say, I'm hoping he's not going 2 TC. So we're going to get an outpost drop. Killjoy should likely follow this up with archery ranges. And then that can get him into rams. That breaks the second TC. That also starves your opponent off his gold because the other two are too far away. I'm starting to get convinced Killjoy's role in this series, man. It's not a discredit to Ben. I've seen what Killjoy can do with Jeanne. It's one of his best factions, and he's in a really good position right now. Longbow production is on the way for Dimmu. Against Knights, that's not going to feel great. It is at least going to be good against Jeanne herself, remember. She hates playing against mass longbows. Play Wood Denial? You don't even need to. Like, Dimmu is going to get this one tree line and then struggle for more, right? So, yes, in a way, he'll play Wood Denial, but you don't need to force it on the TC. This town center is inherently going to lose value. Like, that's the kind of interesting thing. It makes you wonder if Killjoy is just going to do mass knights because you won't have to go in. And, by the way, mods who just ended the predictions, those predictions were for game number 2. So... Someone just got 3 points. Oh, mod, no. You can't start a prediction at 8 minutes into a bloody game. Well, the prediction about the deer gathering was right. Killjoy is playing the pocket resources. King is at least coming in to be a little bit of a nuisance. And we do have the knights circling far, far around the back. Funnily enough, Killjoy actually didn't add in the archery ranges, but he's just gathering here. Did you just lose your points? I mean, we're going to have to cancel that prediction because that prediction shouldn't be going now. And return the points. And then hope... I don't really want to hope that Killjoy wins, so I want to be unbiased. But, for Chim's sake, hope that Killjoy now wins. Chim's about to get fired, I swear. Anyway, villagers are going to get sniped there. Yeah, a little bit awkward for Dimmu. The villagers ran around to the wrong side of the tree line. It's so annoying when that happens. So, nice little pick for 3 there. Killjoy barely taking any damage. I mean, he's doing fast castle. Killjoy is really good at this. I think there's 2 players that really impressed me with these fast castle transitions, and it's Killjoy and Miyamika. I think they're really good at reading the transition after aggro, right? There are a lot of people who try fast castle straight away, and then there's a lot that will do aggro too long. Killjoy and Mio are very good at measuring the value of prolonged feudal and pivoting instantly. Guildhall now on the way. We've seen this build before. Stockpile the goodies, drop a red palace on their ass. Now, usually you drop it on the sacred sites, but if Dimmu doesn't start getting out on the map, it might be coming for his base. Ben is indeed marching out now, so Dimmu is suspicious about what's happening here. I think he knows, right? Like, he doesn't see more knights. It's a very big giveaway. Are those vills on Berry? Which ones? You mean in Killjoy's base? Oh, the ones here. Yeah, they're gathering the deer. Wait, no. Oh. Oops. Oh, no. It's the inclination on the hill. It makes it kind of look like it. Nice in the meantime. Nice raid at the back. Not many Spimmin here to defend, but this should have Killjoy suspicious about a dive coming the other way. Villagers will have to shuffle off here. Tech up complete. Good snipes by Killjadi. Didn't lose any villagers there and still found additional kills on the back. Did lose 1 or 2 knights, but definitely worth it because Ben now kind of stuck in the age. He's at least going to go for the burn through on the outpost, but that can easily be migrated off of here. Lombo's not even getting a single kill. Killjadi does need to get some infrastructure going. Realizes it and switches over onto the wood fast. Still has those knights circling though, so damage that can still be done here. Still has plenty of food gathering on the flanks as well. And we do have gold in the back being gathered. Yeah, because Killjadi probably wants to just get into more knights, funnily enough. Arbitrary isn't really justifiable now that your opponent's gone mass spears. King did just get sniped. That's well played, actually. I don't know how the knights got in there and done that. Jeanne can start tickling at this, by the way. It's only 4 Lombos on the front line, which is pretty pathetic. Yeah, Dimmu is just trying to slow down what's coming. He knows what comes next, right? It's going to be even more pressure from knights. So the housing being blocked is a pretty smart move. But the problem is most of the value in this area is now gone, right? You can't burn a school of cavalry. Dimmu, the warrior you have in this game is like, where's your castle play? Right? Like, I'm just kind of looking at him going, he doesn't have anything being stockpiled. He has a 10 eco lead, which is great, but my worry now is Killjadi, after he mops up this front line, could just switch into the relics pretty fast. I love how Jeanne is just being sent to deal with the entire enemy army. A little bit ambitious there. Still has the 3 Lombos to contest. We do have an attempt to reclaim the front of his base here. Dimmu needs the food, needs the gold. Why are we killing the mill? Okay, there are so many questions about this part of the map right now. He's going to switch over, and the fortification makes it just so difficult with that fire armor. Luckily for him, there's not extra garrisons nearby. Otherwise, that would just spell doom for this play. He did snipe one of the villagers already. That was unfortunate that Killjadi wasn't paying attention. Double villager here would have been a big deal for just the attack. Meanwhile, Dimmu continues to keep the pressure up on the other side of the map as well. Yeah, is it me or does Killjadi still look quite uncomfortable? Like, he does almost have enough knights to clear the spears here. It just feels like at this stage with the army mass, it's a bit too expensive. Dimmu now also starting to stockpile up, so White Tower should be coming in soon. He can even just send the troops forward from this position. Dash coming in at home. Jeanne will better farm this up. Losing a few knights just kind of feels unacceptable at this stage with how small your army is. I guess beggars can't be choosers. We'll at least get the finishing touch on the raiding force. Killjadi now able to play out on the flanks, but Dimmu, the next wave is even bigger. This is like that moment in the movie where we're like, we done it! They're retreating! Wait, are they retreating or rallying? There is a bigger group of spears on the way again. Oh no. How far is JD from level 3? Jeanne is probably about 80 XP away. Why can I not see it? Look at, dude, I was almost spot on. 410 out of 500. This is not too far out. A few spinning kills would really just put you over the edge. King kill would just feel the best right now, right? 20 XP. Difficult to achieve when it's in a field of spears like this. The Lombo's much easier to extract value from, and Dimmu just kind of running away, making it easier for those knights to get the distance. They're like, we've been here before. Didn't we do this last time? Wait, is this just history repeating itself? Oh, the King's going to go down there. This is big. Can he get the snipe? No, no Divine Arrow. Nice read there, though. Good sense from Killjadi to get that extra shot out from Jeanne. So what, we're about 440 XP right now? Maybe slightly more. White Tower drop is going to be safely at home, so no cheesy shenanigans coming in from Dimmu to try and end the game. Denying the School of Cavalry is a pretty big deal, though. Like, Killjadi just doesn't have infrastructure. Has at least set up the double steamers back here with Consecration now, so we'll have a little bit of pump, but if you keep reacting to what Ben is doing, you're going to lose the game. To put it very simple. He needs to go and attack. I'm glad he's finally doing this, because I think he spent way too long trying to address this. He had to, though, right? Like, his villagers were in trouble. If Dimu just rotates to the backside of the base again, I think Killjadi's starved. It's kind of sad for him as well, because he's got this guild hall with all his food, but food isn't his problem. Gold is. And now the white tower is as well. He discovers it in the worst way possible. Knight's diving in a little bit too deep. We'll better back off in the end of time. That means he cannot block the gold gathering, and Dimu does now have the crossbows on the way. Meanwhile, the spearmen can be diving past everything. Yeah, this is problematic. This is not a map that rewards you for playing defensively, I want to say. Borderland, unless you get all the walls up, right? It's very difficult. Killjadi just doesn't have anything to protect him. He's finally trying to go archers, but this is slow, man. They're feudal archers, and you've only got one. Veteran Super Spearman is on the way, and if he gets the formation right, he can just snipe all these. In fact, is he going to cut him off? No, he's not. Okay, so Killjadi's kind of just getting away with this a little bit. Dimu went for the A-click follow. Nice spot on the Spearman to deal with the Knights coming in. John is now level 3, and we do have the counter to Spearman. John's champions have arrived. These are not the counter to Spearman. Yeah, just ignore the champions and move beyond. I mean, Dimu just needs to force out of time. His eco lead is now 30. The opening of this game was incredible for Killjadi. This series looked like it was just going to be a cheesy, fast, easy peasy. But now? Jeanne looks like she sucks. Yeah, this does not look great. English are in a very dominant position. The Knights are at least getting a little bit of raid damage done, but you just, I mean, dude, you've got, what, 5 Knights out here? Somehow 5 Knights would have to kill probably 25 villages for you to feel like you're in this game. So Killjadi, I think he also pulled the guild hall. No, okay. So there is a play to recover this. It's weird, though. You just have to rush gold and drop a red palace. It's not going to feel great because your opponent is 2 TC, but it'll at least stop him from, like, just running you through on the other side of the map. All right, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Killjadi drops a red palace in the enemy base. There, I said it. I mean, it's the quickest way to get back into this game, or just get to game 3. And wait, why are you saying Killjadi is playing like a diamond? Oh, I get what you mean by he's playing like a diamond. He's that precious of a jewel in the way he plays. I agree. He's that incredible and incredibly unique. Like, you know Killjadi is like a top 16 player, right? Who just full-on backhanded Dimu in game number 1. I think you want to check yourself there. Push coming in again. Gold once again to get idle. Killjadi has got relics on the way home, though. This is not the way we want to be bringing them home, though. He's got the veteran Secret archers on the way. It's tough, right? Like, you feel like you need archers because your opponent has got spearmen, but the weird part is you should be the one building arbitrary. Right, your arbitrary should annihilate the English ones. Because they can only get normally crossbows, you can get the extra ranged armor, you can get the extra melee armor. It just feels weird that Killjadi is stuck building archer knights at a point where arbitrary knights would make more sense. I mean, it's very expensive though, right? And I think that's what he's worried about. He needs cheap mass because he can't afford the good stuff, not when he's 40 villages behind. People fail to realize the better player you face, the worse you play yourself. Yeah, it's also like we have things like forced errors, for example, compared to someone who's at gold rank who's making an error that isn't forced at all. Right? Like, the expectation for Killjadi is he attacked, and Dimu was going to stay defensive and react to it. Dimu read it perfectly. He didn't make the mistake that I guarantee you 98% of English players would make, which is hunker down. He countered. Now, Killjadi trying to counter back, but this is going to be a hard-earned play. He snuck around the back. He's making the move. The villager pull. 39 going for the red palace drop. And this is not the first time we've seen Killjadi do this. I believe it was Killjadi versus B. A phenomenal game on Borderland that looked over until he came in with a drop, but he can't. He gets in. Killjadi has to run home with his tail between his legs. The problem is you're running home to an invaded home. Like, congrats, you tried to storm the beaches of Dover. Welcome back to Normandy at a time where England still earns it. Push comes in. Red Palace has to be built here. And Dimu, no. Okay, he doesn't think he can get there in time. The Monk's just a little bit too slow. Kiljardi, though, he will get up into Imperial, but it comes with a heavy tax. 46 villages to 100. Oh, man. I got to respect him for what he tried there. Kiljardi, that was hella ballsy. If he gets that Red Palace drop, it's Siege Workshop and send it. Cool idea. The reality check of this game now, though, is it failed. What did you secure with this? Well, your villagers ran so many laps around the map, they now have power fives. But outside that, you find yourself even further behind than when you tried to go, before you tried to go Imperial, right? Like, this is over. Dimu just needs to put the nail in the coffin, and he has two choices. He either bloats 200 pop and attacks, or the safer option is you go Imperial. We could probably see him starting to scale trebuchets now, just because it is the logical answer to Red Palace, and he does have the White Tower to do that. Oh, man. The good news, by the way, is that we are getting a longer series because of this. Never complain about that. I mean, dude, it's been a wild series so far as well. Only 2 games in, and oh my god, the quality of these games. They've been phenomenal. Like, these are the type of entertaining games you're looking for in AoE 4. I don't want to see 2 people just hunker down the corner and play atypical AoE 4 for 30 minutes on, like, a defensive map. I want the wacky strats. I want the aggro. I mean, this is, I think, why Kiljardi has become such a favorite to watch. You know, yeah, he struggles still with the likes of people like Beastie, Marine Lord, Vortex. I mean, hell, who doesn't, right? But even when he's up against players like that, this guy is more interested in a quick microwavable meal than an hour-long cooking session. You get what I mean? He sends it. He blitzes that thing at 800 watts. Treb's now coming in. If this Red Palace goes down, I think Kiljardi will just call it. I mean, the game looks fairly over already. Maybe the Guild Hall's giving him some hope. But this just feels like a very sad Red Palace. It doesn't actually secure anything that important other than like a little bit of food, which admittedly is running out of, right? But it's not like you've secured an 8k gold. It's not like you've really stopped your opponent from going Sacred Sides, because they could actually just get this on the edge. And, oh, God. Yeah, see, that's a bark shit. Like, that's a defensive landmark that feels like it's securing a win condition. Well played by Ben. I mean, I don't think Kiljardi necessarily made this easy. It's just Dimu found the perfect time in that mid-game to counterattack. If you'd been a little bit too early, a little bit too late, I think it would have backfired. But great soul read on that to realize that Knight players got a Knight, right? They don't want to do anything else. Yes, this is a very defensive landmark, guys, Winky Face. He's not even able to keep the Red Palace up before the Bark Shear completes. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Oh, this is pain. Usually Red Palaces beat Bark Shear, guys. Not this time. Dive comes in, GG gets called, and we are gonna see at least 2 more games. I'm like a broken record, but that's what happens when you even it up like this. Best of 5, folks. There's still plenty to come in the semi-finals of Midweek Muster number 8. Okay, that is surprising. It wasn't a Gorge pick. We've gone Dry Arabia, and Dimu has picked the Delhi here. Yeah, this is a pick that I think Kiljardi was trying to dodge. I don't think he was necessarily expecting Dry Arabia to be the Delhi. Gorge would have made a lot more sense. It's just a more comfortable map for Delhi to dictate. So should be a fun one here. I mean, Juji have definitely been on the rise. A very important game, because if you get match point on the horizon, you can force mistakes out your opponent in game number 4 with draft and get very weird with it. And we do have Gorge lakeside left, which are 2 polarizing maps. So who does it favor more to get match point here? I think Kiljardi would be more favored, because Dimu still has, what, Malians or Dragon Jab? Actually, no, I'm lying to myself. Dimu kind of needs to force match point with this pick. Delhi is his strongest pick, and after this he has Malians, Japanese, Order of the Dragon. Whereas on the other side of it, Kiljardi has Mongols, Ottomans, which both work really well for Lakeside, and Ayyubids, which flexes to Gorge quite nicely. Either way, I think this is going to be an intriguing one. I'm trying to think like what the favorable matchup is between these particular civs. We've been seeing a little bit more of the Delhi and Juji matchup, but they kind of tend to lean towards different maps. Both of them very potent picks. Juji even getting banned sometimes. I'd say Delhi is like in a pretty good position in this matchup, just as they are in most. Based on the most recent patch, in fact, Juji, it's actually neck and neck across all ranks. When you go into Conk, Delhi are weirdly slightly disfavored, 42.5% win rate. If you look at the past patches before that, Delhi actually had a positive win rate. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there. I personally would say Delhi on this map, as simple as Dry Arabia, should have an edge unless your opponent has the RNG of a god. And as we know, when there's a game of Juji and Dumus in it, the Juji will have the RNG of the god. Unfortunately for him, he's not picking them. That is a very juicy meditation garden. 25 gold, 25 stone, 48 food, and about 12 wood. So we're looking at 110 resources Medigarden. This is like old school Medigardens that you used to see. Well played by Killjadi to spot that one out. And by the way, that's not guaranteed. I've seen plenty of spawns recently where you don't get the 8 stack of berries anywhere near anything else. So an absolute jackpot there. And yes, it should touch the stone. There's no way Killjadi would have built this if it didn't touch the stone because he could have pulled it one extra tile back. So I'm going to assume, and maybe it'll make an ass out of you and me, but haha, I'm going to assume it's in range because I don't know why you wouldn't just place it one tile across otherwise. You could say he values the wood slightly more, but like you'd sacrifice maybe 8 to 10 wood but gain 25 stone. The stone's definitely more value. Meanwhile, other side, we are just wait. I was about to say we are just going to get the Dome of Faith standard, but in fairness, no. This is Tower Victory. Okay, I'm starting to like this game more and more for Ben. This is really important. When you play against Juji or China, I've seen a few players try to skirt around this problem and go Dome of Faith. You have to go Tower Victory because a high-level Juji Chinese player will just all-in you otherwise. The reason is like if you don't have Tower Victory, your archers don't clear the spears quick enough, so Zhuganu just destroy you in the fight because your Ghazi can't commit. What? Okay, come on. Why did he choose wood over stone? That's 12 wood. Even if you lost out on all the wood, you would have got 25 stone. Even if all you done with the stone is sold it, it's worth it. I'm a little bit confused by that choice. Oh, sorry, 16 wood, right? So you would have been down maybe 4 wood. I don't know, man. Like, stone just feels really good here because if you're worried about Dimmu raiding you, right, while you're away from your base, you can just have like 1 or 2 outposts that you get hand cannon slits for free, basically. So yeah, a little bit surprised. Probably shows stone when he was placing. Wait, is that actually a thing? I don't play Shuji, so I don't know. I know they have a tooltip when they're like placing it. Does it actually give false positives? Either that or what happened, and this could be a very simple truth of it, is like Killjadi might have slipped slightly, right? You know, you have to keep in mind we're in the winter. It's very cold. He's an old man, so he needs extra blankets to keep warm. His hand might have been shaking like this, and he might have just like slightly over by 1. So Stable's coming out. Killjadi, he did go pro scouts, right? Yeah, so we're just getting your bread and butter here. Dimmu, of course, will be able to organically get that. It would just take him a very long time because he didn't go for Dome of Faith. So his goal is now to block pro scouts. Delhi's probably a good civ to learn the game because they force you to be active on the map, but yeah, they're hard. So Delhi is simple but complex. And what I mean by that is the things that they do, if you can figure them out, they are simple to win with because they are strong. But they are definitely a complex civ to kind of like weave. The opening build order matters, but if you can figure out the first 15 minutes of Delhi gameplay, on average, your elo will go up. Because Delhi is probably one of the most efficient civs at leveraging 15 minutes into a win. Ah, so sometimes it gives false positives. That's unfortunate for Killjadi then. I don't think if he knew about that, he definitely would have prioritized the stone. Like we said, it's just when your opponent is likely to go Ghazi, you benefit from having outposts coming in with free hand cannon slits because you can just gun them down as they dive. I wonder if Killjadi's going to really play the age, though. He's in his Tower of Victory, right? I assume he must have scattered it by now. I don't think you want to get into a long feudal off. He doesn't really have the goal to just hunker down and food rob to hunker down Rush Castle, which is why the Pro Scouts is going to make it comfortable for him. And he does have plenty of safety to play with. So the reason why Fast Castle makes a lot of sense is you can just flood Palace Guard. In fact, what Killjadi could do is, as he's teching up, he could produce a few PG with the racks and then just swarm his opponent. It's a really solid counter to mass Archer Tower Victory. Obviously, you have the less armor compared to standard arms, but the movement speed gives you that gap close. It's a high APM Civ, that's true. Like, Delhi are very complicated. When they age up, you then have to cycle through all your buildings and drag your face across the keyboard to get all your text. So, like, in the first 2 minutes of the age up, your APM is through the roof. Oof. Nah, I can't help but throw shade at Delhi. Such a ridiculously good Civ. So, Broadak's now coming in. Killjadi is... I think he's going to be going Juke. I can't think why else you'd want to buff the wood this much. Quite a lot of spears so far. I mean, we have got archers coming through from Dimmu. His transitions are going to be nice. Usually aren't as good at making immediate transitions as China because you don't have as many Imperial officials usually. And when you do, like this, when you're free, it comes at a cost, right? Nice little raid there. It looks like actually Killjadi sniped one of the villagers unexpectedly. Very rare that Delhi lose villages this early, especially when they do have textiles like this. And yeah, wow, Killjadi, he's going 2TC, right? It's either 2TC or we're about to see a triple archer range drop. The logic behind that is by going Jiangnan, you then drop the archer ranges and you kind of get rebates on your production buildings, right? But I don't really know if that's worth it on its own. Usually I'd say Jiangnan makes sense if you need to add farms. But you've got Pro Scouts, so you should really never be adding farms pre-19 minutes. Okay, yeah, there you go. Archer range is coming in, we called it. Yeah, so this is all about surge timings. He knows he's delayed getting to Zhuge, but now this is going to give him a very aggressive ramping with the fast spawns. Remember, these Jiangnans produce the unit about 3 times faster than the archer range, and obviously it's for free. There you go. Queues up one straight away. Every 5 seconds, those initial ones are coming out. Yeah, but it's pretty late for this play. I've never really been convinced of the value of Jiangnan when you go Pro Scouts. Jiangnan makes sense very aggressively on your timing because you have more units in the field. But the problem for Killjadi is, like, although it's going to start padding his defense, it's not going to give him an immediate surge out, right? Like, it shouldn't anyway. Like, Dimmu with the Delhi should always have production edge here, courtesy of, like, banking scholars. Especially now with the extra gold coming in from those sacred sites. So, Zhuge have started to reveal themselves. Remember what we said about these fights? You need these archers to remove the spears. Right now, Killjadi has a lot of them. Ghazi could think about wrapping around the back here. I'm trying to peel away, and the Ghazi could actually leak in. Dimmu instead A-clicks the front side of the engagement. Oh my, dude, Delhi is something else, man. That looked like a balanced fight, and then you just see, oh, attack speed. Let me just stab you in the face faster. Let me just shoot you in the face faster. And that, folks, is why Delhi Tower of Victory is so good against Juji Chinese feudals. The Zhuge Nu just lost their protection way too fast. The Ghazi can just run them through. He's at least microing correctly to take out the spears, the best thing to target right now. But now the archers just adding their damage in. I mean, Killjadi, he's losing way too much in this engagement. Dimmu is going to have to back off, right? Begins to become an overextension. But for this, he's got 3 sacred sites. He's got plenty of gold trickling in. I mean, he's probably going to transition Castle Age. Killjadi is being smart about this at least. He's not putting everything into the reboom. I think he's aware of the possibility that Dimmu could be playing him here. But damn, that was brutal. And yeah, no, remember, you don't pay 600 for the Jiangnan, you pay 515. Zoom in makes it hard to see what's going on with all the other stuff on the bottom. What do you mean on the bottom of the screen? You're seeing what's happening in the fight. So the thing is, like, with with the Tang Dynasty, you get 15% off, right? So for the Jeanne, then you're actually paying 515. So you're getting like 50% of your resources almost back because you get 240 back from the build. The Jeanne then feels a lot better when you can justify Horsemen because if you do free stables, you're getting 120 resources back on 150. But I think what people realize very early on about stables builds for that reason is like, compared to this, you can't justify 3 of these at the same time. Because although you get a unit worth 120 for free, you then have to produce that unit for 120 every 23 seconds. Which you can do, you might not be able to afford them all the time, but like they're realistically more queuable at 80 resources a pop. Yeah. I don't think this was a game for Jeanne D'Arc, like personally. I think it actually hurt Killjadi more than it helped him. He probably felt pressured like he needed to get extra units faster. But like once again, man, I mean, you went pro scouts, right? You kind of put yourself in this pickle to begin with. Look at this. Quite a funny kind of exchange now coming in. I thought Dumu would be the one going castle first. Instead, he reinvests everything, and we have a tech up coming from Killjadi. I mean, I'm impressed that he's actually somehow managed to scrape this together. Especially after, this is the other weird thing, if you're going to end up going castle anyway, Song Dynasty feels even worse. Because he sacrificed a 15% saving, aka 270 resources saved, right? Dimmy, replobbing Archer is just questionable in this position. Did he think he could win on Sacred Sites? That's the only reason I can think of why you double down like this. It's kind of crazy. I mean, you could argue that he doesn't have many scholars, right? Unless he plays along feudal. That's the nature of Tower Victory. So while it looks a bit choky, he didn't rush castle, you have to remember that this is not your standard Dome of Faith build. It's very different. Demu now needs to extract some value. The problem is he knows the Zhuge veterancy is coming in fast. So Village is going to be sniped there, but veterancy of the Zhuge is in, and this fight is unwinnable for Ben. Yeah, even the Ghazi are going to get shredded now, so Dimmu has to run away. His only real choice here should be a tech up. Ghazi are going to go for the dive in. They built the first wave of shots, but now this fight should not feel even. It's about neck and neck on the count, but the repeat crossbow is just so much better at killing. Okay, so Killjadi, he's now got the Shallow Monks in the way. Dimmu is in a weird position now. He could try to snake all the relics as he techs up, but it's going to be a very fine line to thread. And the reason is that if Killjadi just keeps pushing, like there's no way you can afford a tech up while fielding an army as Ben. Sacred Sites have been locked in again. That's definitely going to juice his economy up a little bit. Spinman actually getting a perfect fight there, finding the Ghazi. Archers are raiding the backside, so well played by Dimmu to just take the small pockets and go for the economy. Can't really afford to directly fight the army right now. We'll snipe off a few villages. But my worry is the counterattack. If Killjadi gets anywhere near Dimmu's economy, it's going to be a snowball. We are seeing him move towards it now. Sacred Site's actually being essentially ignored right now. Ones if you think Dimmu's going to win this, twos if you think Killjadi is. I'm going to have a look at the predictions. What was it? So 64% were for Dimmu in this game. When we done the predictions at the start. I think if people could reassess their bets, they'd probably be leaning about 70% Killjadi right now. Probably higher, actually. Some people never discount the power of the Delhi, but right now it's looking good for Killjadi. Needs to be careful about overextending. Spimmer need to get that initial trade to get rid of the Ghazi. Dimmu, is he making this work? I mean, Killjadi, his knights aren't coming to this fight, so he's just going to throw away the Zhuge. Wow, okay, so Ben getting a phenomenal exchange there. Lancers are now arriving, but the textiles should make it difficult to get many kills. Dimmu does still need to make that tech choice, but credit to him, man. I thought that this was just going to be a wash. I think Killjadi, he must have done something greedy behind this. It's kind of shocking how small he looked there. I mean, Tower Victory is good, right? Like, you can't discredit the value of it. I mean, he did go for the monks, right? He built 3 in total. That was 600 resources. It's going to start paying off now as the relics are coming home. So it should be free for him. And more to grab. Meanwhile, Dimmu on his way towards that House of Learning. Ben. We've been here before. Last time it felt like an overextension. This time, could it feel better? I doubt it. Lancers now there. I mean, the good news is the archers are fast enough to disengage from the Duke. The bad news is those lancers don't die easily. Plus 2 armor. I mean, Ben is playing this right. He starts stepping away, so like the damage should be substantially more, but this is the weird thing about playing Duke plus Lancers. It's just very difficult to give chase. Your Knights will always reach, but they'll just get disconnected from the fight, right? Like, or disconnected from the main mass. However, if he has more Lancers coming behind this, it means you have a front line long enough that it'll be in Ben's base. Looks like the Duke finally caught up, but Dimu has bought necessary time here. 4th relic is now on the way home for Kiljadi. This is looking like a 5 relic game for the Zhuji. And we have a big tech coming. Bolt magazines is huge actually against the potential for Spearmen, right? Because you're playing Lancers. Funnily enough though, Dimu is just more focused on getting crossbows right now and his own Knights out. Makes sense. If he gets home blades, he should be able to win that. And I believe we do not actually have it. No, Dahlia Horses is not in yet. So these Lancers are doing as much damage as they could. Gonna buy time again, but feels like Kiljadi did sacrifice quite a bit in this fight. However, with this many Lancers backing him up now, the Duke should be able to dictate terms. Doing a good job at least sniping the injured Lancers. Just looks completely pinned in his base in this game. I mean, Kiljadi, he's looking on the verge of cracking match point here. Duke are going to be able to peel off onto the eco line. Looks like he's going to throw away the main master repeater crossbows, but he's at least trading out onto the crossbows, which I love to see. This is the thing you're worried about. You don't care about the archers, not with Lancer play. And if you're wondering why is Kiljadi looking so weak right now, it's because he's farm transitioning. We have the first granary coming in. We also have 2 TC by the looks of it. Emo Dimu. Wait, this is just kind of sad to watch, right? Like, you inherently get pro scouts, but we actually haven't got him playing out for it at all. Okay. So now that we're both in Castle Age, how does this play out? Dimu has got the potential to still play Lancers, but the window is closing super fast with the crossbow massing. He's probably just going to lean into Elephant plus crossbow mass with Pakes, which is a big edge for him. Like, Zhuji just need to have better economy. The bad news for Dimu is that Zhuji do have better economy, right? They've got 4 relics soon to be home. It should be coming home. I think he just hasn't dropped it off yet. And on top of that, you'll eventually be able to get into Yuan to get those pesky pagodas. Lancer raid also coming in. Dimu. Uh-oh. Quick reactions at least. Shouldn't lose too much from this. Every low does count in this game when they're 1 TC versus 1 TC though. And wow, did he intentionally do that? It kind of looked like he intentionally shuffled the villagers around there to get the injured ones away. We'll still lose 2. And the elephant does get revealed, but the awkward feeling is it's a tower elephant. You might think, why is he building tower elephants? Does he not want to win? It's because if you went war elephants, you're expecting in the crossbow meta both players to be crossbows. So this is actually quite smart by Dimu to build tower elephants instead. Does mean you kind of suck against the lancers. You're not getting that huge stab, but you're also guaranteeing down the line in the big fight, you have the desirable unit type. So that leads to the question, what's the counter to tower elephants? Banning Delhi. Failing that though, there is a play into the later phase of the game for Kiljadi, and it'll be Imperial Age. Imperial Age with the movement speed from your Temple of Sun is really good for the spears. It'll give you the gap close you need. Horseman is also an option in Castle Age. You just need to make sure you've got enough food. Kiljadi is getting to that point with the triple granary setup, but definitely needs more farms if he wants to pull that off. One thing that worries me for Dimu is we've seen Kiljadi slow down on his kill point in the game because he ran out of food. We're now seeing Dimu run out of food as well while pinned in the corner. There's a really big opportunity here for Kiljadi to just take full map control. It looks like he's ceasing it. Heat drop coming in for the 8k gold. Spearman counter tower elephants. Alright, Punisher. I'm gonna have to feature you in the Low Elo Legends series, you know. Thank you for making yourself known. God, I kind of want to see someone try to spring all the Tower Elephant to death just so we can cry about it. Yeah, you know, guys, it's fine. It only takes like 100 shots to kill an elephant with springles. I wonder if Dumu is going to keep dropping himself. Feels like we're heading towards it, right? Stone gathering is not fast. He gathered some in a rush initially and then slowed down entirely. Oh, there we go. Keep drop did come in. Yeah, so Village Fortress is on the way. Kiljadi just saw this. This is where he needs to go to TC. Or go Pagodas. He has got the Sacred Site timer ticking, ironically, against the Delhi. 9 minutes is a long time. Siege Towers counter Tower Elephants? What? Okay, guys, hear me out. I know what Siege Towers should do. Siege Towers, when they get close to a Tower Elephant, should drop the top gate, and then you should be able to run units on top of the Tower Elephant, stab those archers in the face, and then hijack their elephant. Grand Theft Auto, Delhi. Well, he might be in a bit of a pickle here, though. Kiljadi's army. A lot scarier. This blocker on the gold. Has at least got the 4K over here protected by the castle. Good read about Kiljadi as well. If his opponent went for this keep drop, it's 900 stone that wasn't going into a defensive army. Just a defensive building. Looks like he's going to try to deny the researchers. Skulls need to be pulled out here. The crossbows are looking to pressure. Kiljadi a little bit ambitious there. He's looking a bit of a missed position. Wants to protect to try and get the kills on those scholars coming out. I'm not sure that trade was worth it for Kiljadi. But like we said, he has at least slowed the tech timing. So if there's somebody who's paranoid about coming in, he's got kind of a bigger gap between him and his opponent temporarily. Behind this, it is still just 1 TC, by the way. So Kiljadi's starting to look like he's just playing for a Sacred Site Wing Condition. That food per minute difference, you could have just went with the raw food count, really. The move basically is 0. Yeah, we do have the PG coming. I'm a little bit surprised against crossbows. I mean, it's actually weird to me that Kiljadi isn't just building horsemen. Literally everything that Dumu has gets countered by horsemen. Right? Like, people are talking about we need a mouse to counter Tower Elephants. No, dude, you just need ponies. This army comp is like that friend of yours who says they're scared of horses because their face is long and weird and you don't like the way that they stare at you while also looking like they don't stare at you. It's very off-putting and that scares them. It's like that. That was way too specific. Horseman is your answer, but we're watching a Kiljadi game. And Horseman sounds like something you do deeper in. So instead, we've got the Ram Rush coming at 25 minutes in. This is a Kiljadi classic. Now seeing it. I mean, we talked about how Horseman is a counter, but in a way, Rams are as well, because Dimu doesn't have anything that can kill these. Bar Tower Elephants. Oh my. Sacred Site timer is going to be protected. Kiljadi just sends out a few knights here. Another keep drop coming in from Dimu. And a blocker from the Juji. So Kiljadi moving across for his own. He does walk underneath the castle, though. Lancers march in to kind of make it a little bit of a trade. Meanwhile, on the base, the landmarks are being threatened. Mahoots should be able to complete in time before the House of Lenin goes down. But my bigger worry is that Ben doesn't have the resources to get counter units out here. How about Tower of Sultan Elephants? How about Tower Elephant Tower? It's just an elephant stuck on top of the tower. How about a Tower Elephant Elephant? It's a Tower Elephant on top of an elephant. Wait, no, that's probably something that belongs in the ancient town. And a mummy elephant and a daddy elephant love each other very much. Dumbo! Tower Victory now being targeted. Dimu knows he's going to have to stake a claim soon, make a stand in his base because he's running out of things to hide behind here. You have a Mango now coming out. Funnily enough, actually finally has someone to start somewhat countering the Rams, but Nesta Bees have just arrived. Wheeling dealing them across the map. He's got more on the way as well. Full Siege Workshop means they won't take long. I'm struggling to see how Killjadi loses this game. Dimu barely has an economy lead. He actually doesn't because of the relics and the sacred sites. He just doesn't have an answer to Rams. Like, funnily enough, Killjadi could have just stockpiled more Rams to end this game faster. I mean, at this stage, it makes sense, right? You're 190 pop. Use the extra population left to just go mass Rams. Dimu might force him to just fight instead. Tower Elephant count is now up to 5. We've got a Ghazi switch coming from Dimu. Interesting choice considering your opponent has 36 Spearmen. I'm going to chalk that one up to potentially a misclick. TOV is down though, so one landmark remains for Dimu. Killjadi also only 4 minutes away from a Sacred Site victory, and he has protection now, and soon rather, on all 3 of these Sacred Sites. Speed shots also coming in. Mangoes looking for the counter snipe. I just don't know how you hold here with a brute force bush. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's just so much melee. He can't even protect the siege. I think that is the end of Ben in game number 3. We talked about how he needed a win here with the Delhi because his draft is likely to get weird after this. Whereas Killjadi's has a little bit more for formulaic nature to it. At least a reliable game 5. So now the ultimate nightmare as the Finn is looking like he's about to go 2-1 up against the Brit. Tower victory trying to be repaired. Ben has much bigger problems on that clock right now, 3 minutes away. Nesta Bees just trying to trade out the Mangoes. Once again, these elephants have to go in. It just, as OP as these units can be, they have their limitations. And I think they really have reached them here. And Ben, I think he just really got screwed over by that farm transition. Killjadi set himself up so much earlier, so much nicer for that point in the game, and it gets him to the win in game number 3. Best of 5s means we're getting at least one more here, so I will see you all in just a sec. Yeah, I think only certain people are allowed to stream in 1440p on Twitch. I would love to be part of that group, so that you guys can see the amazing 1440p that I see. I swear by 2K Gaming. So I want to upgrade to 4K Gaming. I'm going to be talking to a few monitor brands, hopefully this month, see if we can make that happen. But for now, let's make some more magic happen. I'm a little bit surprised by this, actually. Like, I'm flabbergasted on the words because I wasn't expecting Dimu with map pick between Gorge and Lakeside to pick Lakeside, because Killjadi had a lot of variability. He had Ayyubids, Mongols, Ottomans. You're threatened by your opponent picking Japanese, so you're probably not going to pick Otto. Actually, no, Ottomans is fine. Yeah, like, there was just 3 picks here that all made sense for Killjadi, which is why I'm a little bit flummoxed, because usually you want to thin your opponent's options first. But I guess this kind of throws things into a weird tilter, because now if we go to Gorge as a deciding game number 5, Dimu reclaims some control of the draft, because he'll have Order the Dragon and his opponent will have Mongols and Ottomans, and I don't like either of those into OOTD. Very interesting game. Let's see if you can do it. Remember, Lakeside, or as we like to call it, let me just rotate it for you guys. Pants. Literally, look at the minimap, it's pants. We have got fishing. There is 1 deep water fish per player. The trade on water is pretty terrible as well. Like, I love that, by the way. It's a very interesting map. I do think, in some ways, Lakeside has potential character, but it falls victim to most water maps' issue, which is, no matter how you try to slice and dice it, people will almost always still go for a dock for the 1 deep water fish. It's seen as that valuable. There is something kind of awkwardly flawed in water play where this is always the case, and it means that what should be variant gameplay often isn't, because not doing deep water fish is inefficient. So if you don't do deep water fish, you're playing the game wrong. That's a little bit sad about water. I'm wondering what the long-term solution is. You know, I don't know if Age of Mythology's fishing solution would be good for AoE 4, but I almost want to see it would be better than what we have. And the fishing solution, for those who don't know, in Mythology is a fishing boat. Only one fishing boat can go to one fishing spot, right? So it handicaps, or handcuffs rather, the amount of food you can rush on fish. So going just immediately into water isn't, you know, organically the best play always. Get rid of deep water fish, potential option, right? Or like just have deep water fish not be infinite. That could work as well. You can have deep water fish, just don't have them be infinite. Then it's a choice, right? Like it's a temporary investment for a temporary gain. Meanwhile, the problem you have is like deep water fish in its current state is infinite. That's flawed. Like, you know, when you think about the long-term math of it, loading fishing boats to go on deep water fish. Well, if you're a full price civ and not the Japanese that pay 45, you pay 75 wood, right? Well, that's how much a farm costs. But on top of that, you're getting an additional worker unit, right? So, like, there's so many elements about this that just make deep water fish too good. This is interesting, though. We've got Kura Storehouse coming in. The reason this is interesting is because Ayyubids can actually just pressure you now. I'm liking the look of this for Kiljardi. Remember, he's on match point. If he wins this game, he will be through. And sorry, I didn't have a chance to update the graphics. We moved so fast. He'll be through into the finals for week number 8. Kiljardi's best performance on record in the Midweek Masters. In fact, I think this might be Kiljardi's second finals in a year. Last one would have been King of the North. How many deer is there in this map? It's pretty much the standard amount, right? So you've got the, what was it? You've got the 7 stack, and then you've got 4 plus 4, I want to say? Wait, no. Oh, sorry, it's more. So you've got, that is definitely 7, right? I always have to check this, because sometimes it lies. So 7 plus the 9. So yeah, in total, there is going to be 32 deer. Not too bad. Pro Scouts is an interesting idea in this map, by the way, because one thing I did praise Lakeside for is in a meta that's dominated by Pro Scouts, this map, it's harder to do because usually the issue with Pro Scouts is you can't block it because they have options. On this map, all the options are linear in one direction. So if you want to counter the play, you actually can move there and block it. It's not guaranteed to stop them getting deer. It's just definitely a lot harder to get deer on this map with Pro Scouts than, say, Dry Arabian. Okay, so tech up complete. I'm still a little bit flummoxed about the idea from Dimu. He's just rushing castles, so he will get away with this. I'm wondering, like, I mean, Kiljardi, the Dervishes can actually just kind of beat him to the punchline, but it has to be an advancement wing which doesn't exist anymore, right? So we're probably going to be seeing Growth Wing. I actually don't mind the idea of industry wing in these type of games, but I think Kiljardi's looking for tempo. What is interesting in this matchup, by the way, is that camels you'd think would just beat Mount Samurai. It doesn't necessarily work that way because Mount Samurai completely block the charge from the Camel Lancers and then just have overall better stats. So it kind of mitigates the fact that they're losing 20% of the damage. Although Camel Lancers still win in a vacuum, games don't often play out in a vacuum the way you intend. And in fact, one really cool build I've seen for Japanese sometimes in this matchup is if you know your opponent's going to rush Camel Lancers, you actually open Onimusha instead. Like the Kiljardi for that reason, by the way, has added in a stables with Horseman. It just gives him that blocker play if Dimu now says, I'm going to go Musha. Also just a cost-efficient trader. Desert Raider would have cost him 60 resources more. It would have taken longer to arrive as well. This is all about just having something to poke in, stab, force in a little bit of time and come back, right? Because this one horseman can just keep getting healed. So we have got the naval arrow slits coming in, so blocker to try and deny the dock. Dimu a little bit blocked on the demo ship spawn there. Will actually buy time for Kiljardi to get away with that. Horseman is going to take a stab at it, Dimu. This is where Ayyubids can be a little bit annoying. The problem is I think the time is off. Kiljardi's play makes sense if he didn't go for the boats as well. You're on a fishing map, your opponent has got extra food income, right? So, ergo, his castle timing is going to be quicker. His feudal timing is going to be slower. Kiljardi went fishing as well. He then decided to build a Smrill ship, an Arrow ship. That's what slowed him down. This horseman being here like 30 seconds sooner actually would have led to some idle time. But instead, Dimu getting a pretty clean and easy castle. And yes, deep water fish do regenerate after they're depleted. They are infinite food stack. I do think the AoE 4 in some ways just has a little bit too much infinite food. You can have some rarities to it, but, you know, in some ways, infinite resources should, to a certain degree, feel like trade should, where it shouldn't just be your bread and butter default option. It's an awkward balance to find for sure, because the problem is if you nerf infinite resources like relics and fishing, and then you also continue to nerf trade, all you end up with is TC as best, and that's not good either. There's always a tricky balancing act for sure. So this is starting to get a little bit weird for Killjadi. He did go for Desert Raider in the end, which I'm a little bit shocked by after he opened Horseman. It's expensive, really. It is slowing down his timing, right? He has at least started the tech up. Growth Wing's coming in a minute and 25. Flown Gate is going to be a little bit quicker, though, and it is indeed going to be the stable opening. Do you know why Japan always does this opening, guys? Because it's stable. Oh, sorry, I unbinded my Badumtis from my Steam Deck. Whoops. Oh, Stream Deck, sorry. I mean, it's just so powerful, right? Mount Samurai gives you rating potential. It gives you also a generic unit that can block anything. That's the whole logic. It's like Onimusha requires something counters, otherwise it sucks. Samurai is too slow and can get countered in time. Mount Samurai can just dodge their counters and find openings. Instead of nothing infinite res, I wish they gave all civs ways to spend a ton on some temporary advantage like Griot Bara. I mean, maybe I think that's why you saw the change to university techs, by the way, is to make university, because university techs are age 5. Like, they really are. The buffs you get to your unit types makes them feel that good. But they kind of felt too easy to access, so I didn't mind the idea of, like, of making them more expensive, right? I do get where you're coming from, well, like, the infinite resource slog is ridiculous, though. It's weird because there's like some games that don't like had inherent systems that block this. Like I'm always reminded with food being so big in this game, and I look at a game like Cossacks, right, where you actually need to have a big slog of extra resources because if your farmers stop working, your food depletes based on the number of units you have. And if you run out of food, your units die, right? So, yeah. It almost feels like it would be nice to have more resource sinks for the late game that make sense, but the trade-off is you kind of rewards eco play even more, which I'm not a fan of. Because I do think the game is already very eco heavy, right? Like I'm actually a big fan of offering up players more ways to express their skill through abilities, micro, etc. More unit types, so on. Anyway, Lancers are coming. We already have the Mount Samurai. Now, Dimmu should have the Daimyo coming in soon. He was slowed down because he went for the Naval Arrow Slits as well as the Arrow Slit on the tower. So, we're about to hit that mark. 225 stones what he needs. That's going to be a big deal because when you have the Uma Bannerman, the Camel Lancer effect doesn't exist anymore. Next, Civ is allowed to take out loans and go into debt. Oh my god! We need to get... We go... What we call them? Florence? We call them the Medici... We release Italy next patch. Vodka finally starts playing the game again all the way to top 100 like it used to be. Because he loves them that much. And then the next DLC after that, we add in the Medici faction. Boom. Can you imagine if you could just have an ability to give your opponent gold and then take it away when you think they need it? Nice wall lob blocker there, by the way. Killjadi, he already has 3 relics, though. Like, the Dervish play has paid off. Dimmu's in a sticky position. He's behind on economy. He's in more than one way. In every way. Wow, that demo timing. Okay, that scout deserves a commendation. He worked his ass off for that kill. So no fishing. Only 1 relic. It'll only ever be 1 relic by the looks of it. There's a race going on right now, and the Dervish is going to win that too. Oh, come on. Killjadi's going to complete it in 4 by the looks of it, unless Dimmu can find an out fast. And this is at least a good start. Beautiful blocker there, but he backs away from it. What? I'm pretty sure the camels couldn't have got out there. But Dimmu's like, oh, pardon me. He was the... typical polite Brit. He's like, oh, excuse me, I'll get out of the way for you. Get out of the way of Killjadi, making his way towards the grand finals because this lead is building like crazy. He's got the fishing his opponent doesn't have. Dumu's at least trying to grief and take a bit extra food, but it doesn't matter. He needs to find his way to another dock, but that's difficult to do in this type of position. Crossbow transition now also on the way. Now Dumu, he can win a direct fight right now. Mount Samurai plus Uma Bannerman gives him that grace. However, if he waits just a little bit too long here, he will die to mass crossbow camel. Charlie's like, hey, I got the 4th one. Thumbs up. And no, this is not a best of 7. We are in the semifinals. BO5s, folks. So this could be Dumu's final game of midweek muster number 8. It's looking like it at this rate. He needs something big, some sort of advantage to play off of, because right now, I'm just not seeing the picture he's trying to paint, you know? He came in trying to be the next Van Gogh, left with the drawing skills of my 2-year-old daughter. She does draw a very pretty squiggly circle, though. Didn't I think, is he getting ready for a farm transition? There's a lot of wood to be working with. Italy, Spain, Hungary, those 3 left, maybe Poland. Dude, I'd say like Poland is a pro over Hungary in my brain. Winged Hussars is such an iconic unit to any like people that play history-based games. And then, I mean, the other obvious ones we talked about before is like Aztecs comes in, something like that, right? Do we need more? Maybe more Southeast Asian suits, potentially. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we don't have either Spain or Portugal in the game to this day. So, Red coming in. This could be big for Dimu. Needs it as well. Camel Lance is a little bit overwhelmed. I'm going to get swung on top of. The crossbows start stepping away. Villagers are on the front line. I'm kind of curious, where the hell is the army right now? What? There's meant to be more camels than this. There's 11 in total. Yeah, they were on the north side. Oh my god, was he getting ready for a drop? He was! Dumu! Dumu just caught him making a completely unnecessary play. Kiljardi fantasizing about Normandy way too much here. Which is odd for a Finnish person. I can't believe that. Kiljardi, he was going for the tuck around the back. Dimu, I mean, how did he even know, right? The game sense on this lad, I think he was just fishing for an expedition, but when he realized what was happening, Ben was probably expected to get dove on the other side of the map. Instead, he gets the best case situation, gets a bunch of economy kills, evens them up to 48 to 49, and doesn't really lose that much of his army for it. Demo still needs a full way out, right? This is a step in the right direction, but overall economy, he's still trailing, right? Sacred Site win condition at least gets decapped. Demo, is he going to go for those deer? I think he is, yeah. He can't really afford extra farms right now. Instead, we are going to be getting the archery. Now, the question mark is whether we're getting Yumi or Onimusha. There's 2 lines of thought here. Onimusha to delete the Camel Lancers fast, or Yumi to trade out with the crossbows. Winged Hussars could be Imperial Knights like Imperial Guards for Zhuji. I don't think Winged Hussars, if Poland gets added, I don't think Winged Hussars will be left that far behind in the game. I think Winged Hussars will just be a Castle Age unit. I'm trying to think, well, Winged Hussars historically heavily armored. I'm trying to think how heavy their armor was. Like, I've seen plenty of games that I'd say categorizes them as either a light to medium cavalry kind of role. So if they're in like that kind of category, they could just be a potentially a feudal age unit, almost like a special horseman. The problem with that is every time we add a special horseman to the game, they end up broken, right? Like Ghazi are phenomenal, Sipahi, at least statistically, are phenomenal as well. I think Hungarians are more interested because they start as a nomadic settler. Yeah, I would be very surprised if they started that way in AoE4. we don't have any examples where civs start nomadic. Mongolians, you can argue, are nomadic, but they have a TC, right? So like what we suggesting there, the Hungarians basically have mobile buildings, so they are a Mongol variant? Sounds very weird, right? And well, finally the Normandy drop actually happened. I mean, this is kind of cool, because Damu technically didn't know that Kiljali was trying this before. Sneaky get. I mean, he didn't get an insane amount of kills, right? But he got enough to extend that lead. And now 2 CC versus 1. Sacred Sight's locked in again for Damu. I just don't see this as a winning condition. Winged Hussars light and feudal and then you upgrade them? Maybe. Wait. Oh. Ooh, that's not quite enough! No! 33 HP! If Damu had just brought the Human Bannerman, that would have been a kill! Oh my god. I mean, 8 Lancers down the drain is exactly what Damu needs. That would have been the opening. That would have been no front line. Kiljali dodges a bullet and gets away with murder. Unbelievable game number 4 between these two. But we're still not done yet. Damu is starting to stockpile for Imperial. Kiljali hasn't really added that many farms in. I mean, the Kura storehouse has really kept Damu alive in this. If it wasn't for that extra food source infinite, he'd be in trouble. So Clash going to come in, but he can't hang around due to the crossbows. The good news is his crossbows also can't chase him. Winged Hussars peaked in the early modern period. The only civ that is a bit similar to that are the Ottomans. Okay, so I'm going to, like... So is your argument they're too late? Because one thing I'm going to kind of highlight is, to a certain degree, who cares? Can I just be the guy to say that? I too often in the community, like when we bring up these discussions, hear about like the authenticity of the time period. I don't think anyone really cares. If you gave people Romans, they'd be happy. Can we just agree on that? Right? Like, I would buy Romans 100%. I don't care that it's the wrong time period. Like, actually, the beauty of games is how I can do that. Think back to your childhood of like cowboys versus dinosaurs. You take that every day of the week. And you know what? Secretly, the nerds who are obsessed with it love it as well, because then they get to make all those Reddit threads. Technically, this is incorrect. They didn't exist at this time. I don't care. Dude, just told me the other day about how I was playing Total War Warhammer. It's not realistic that I'm able to tame bears, but we do it and ride them into battle. Suck on that one. Oof. Damu's going to feel like he's sucking on lemons here, because that's going to be 15 villagers dead. He needs to fight right now. Army on the way. How do you fight into this, though? Mad Samurai need to do all the carrying. The Onimusha need to target down the few Camelots that are in there. The Horsemen to counter to them. And Kiljali continues the dive. Tanegashima Gunsmith is coming in behind this for Damu. But Kiljali, in return, is coming in hot. Getting more torch damage in as well. The fortification's about to tick in, but too little too late. It's going to be another 5 villages down the drain. The Mad Samurai non-existent. It's only Onimusha left, and Damu. The Tanegashima Gunsmith play is cool, right? But I don't know how it's meant to save you here. You're over 30 villages behind. You now lack access to food. You lack map control. You're probably going to be up against double Sacred Sight. As long as Kiljali doesn't just overextend, it's very hard to see the way. Like, he's got a very healthy comp here, right? If this had been Mass Spearman, for example, I actually think Damu could have done it with the Siege, right? Just go for Reboldiquins and wipe them. The crossbows will stop you going Reboldies. Found it pretty weird when they added Romans to AoE 2. Yeah, but like, probably because for a long time they tried to stick to a time period. I just think most people would find it cool. It's almost like what you do with something like Romans is, and this is the thing that could make it confusing, but other strategy games kind of done this, is like when you go past a certain age, the flag or name changes. So maybe just call them something else originally, but that would be really cool from an architectural standpoint if you had a civ that is very clearly Romans and like maybe Dark Age, Feudal Age. I say Feudal Age as well, because I know they didn't exist then, but it's at least kind of can fit, and it's important because no one does anything in Dark Age. But, you know, then in Castle Age, they become different. And then in terms of what you call them, you pick the most relevant Italian state and go with it. Maybe you just make them Naples or some crap. Milan, I don't know. Just call them Rome. Screw it. So, Dimmu said screw it to plan Age 3. We do have an Imperial Edge, and we do have Mass Onabagisha. I mean, it's actually a solid choice. It's just tricky because Onabagisha, I think, struggle with the Oda tactics change. It's much better to have extra health against mass crossbows, right? It makes it much harder to counter this mass just by Bagisha-ing up. I mean, that's one drastic change we've seen is like crossbows hold a lot better in the late game now because they no longer have to worry about infantry with 20% more health. If Dimmu pulls this off, he is a magician, is what I'll say. I like that he's at least raiding. This is smart because Killjoy is just kind of panic reacting instead of going in. And that's buying critical time to get towards your elite techs, which is the only way Dimmu's going to be able to fight at this rate. Can't win with a 40 vil deficit unless you're Malians, maybe. But we have tickets. Okay, that sounded so bad. Woohoo! And we have bald boys. Are you telling me you don't trust the baldest of bald men with a bald civ? How dare you, sir? So Mushiro have at least squished the villager count a little bit. I think he got like 10 worker kills off of this raid. Gap is still 30, but at least it has shrunk a bit. And we do now have 2 TC, right? So Dimmu is playing catch up, but given enough time, he will. The onus is on Killjoy to push. But he's waiting for this. Military wing reinforcement coming in 20 seconds, and that is where this game gets scary. Guys, would you like to guess how much damage an Onabagisha maxed out hits for against a maxed out Desert Raider? It's pretty sad. So, let's say he actually is able to get all those techs to begin with, right? Like, he's still got to get 2 melee techs. Oda tactics needs to come as well, right? So you end up doing, with a bannerman there as well, I believe the number was 16? But maxed out, a Desert Raider can get 13 armor. It's really painful. It's kind of the nightmare fuel. Like, we actually had a game on this map the other day, right? Where Ayyu didn't go mass Desert Raiders, and it felt a bit weird. I think that was Killjoy. Yeah, he was too late. If you guys remember, Numidal vs. Killjoy, fantastic series. It will feature on the YouTube side. If you watch this on YouTube, it should already be there. Phenomenal series, but he resisted the temptation to go Desert Raiders, and I hard disagreed with it. Funnily enough, that was actually a Japanese Ayyubid game too, but in that particular game, the Japanese player had a lot of samurai. We are at least going to get an ability to break through the wall for Dimmu. I don't know if you really want to go through that wall. I think if you open it up, you're going to regret it. Oh no, he's doing it again. This time with Horseman Killjoy. Oh, I've got to keep an eye out for this. He still keeps going for that back gold. Ironically caught it as it was running out. Strikes down a few more villages. And now, Ben has a big problem. His army completely out of position here. And the Desert Raiders already vetted up. Soon to be elite teched up. And they also do have the infantry support in the way. This is going to get ridiculous. He's about to have 12 melee armor on these guys. Right now, the Bagisha do that in damage. They're going to be hitting for 1 damage into a unit that has 170 HP, or 175. Oh, God. Hell, Killjoy could just age up again at this rate. Is it time for the advisors? Because that would actually just break the game. So Adabeg's giving 20% more health, Biology giving another 20% more health. I mean, it just sounds disgusting to say out loud. A 40% increase on this unit. Oof. So you'd end up with, what, 245 HP per Desert Raider? Actually, no, I think it's higher, right? Because it's It's multiplicative on the scaling. Dimu is at least now on his way to Ode Tactics, so he'll do more than 1 damage with the Bigisha. That's the positive. It's still going to take him about 60 hits to kill a Desert Raider, but it's an improvement. What a pesky bugger. Yes, whatever he said, I'll take 5 of them. Ranged armor 3 also on the way. Not as important here against the Zutsu because they're very high base damage, but every little helps, right? I mean, Kiljadi, he has got dominion over a lot of gold. And yes, the Desert Raiders do get 12 armor. Well, actually, technically, they can get more. They can get 13. Ta-da! Because remember, he hasn't got melee defense 3. They're very chunky. And there's the biotech we talked about. 25% increase in health coming in. And as I said, after that, once he's capped down resources, because he's capped down pop, he could just go for the advisors and get Adabex. I'm telling you guys, like, I mean, I feel like me and Krakody are like on a hill losing our voices as we yell it out loud. Desert Raiders in hyper late game are slightly overtuned right now. They benefit from multiple university techs, and then if you get hyper late game, they also have that Golden Age 5, which gives them 20% better attack speed. Remember, the Unitechs they benefit from is biology and incendiary arrows. How much armor does Lance get? Nowhere near as much. I think Lancer is, I want to say 6 base in Imperial. So you get them up to 9. Now, Lancer is going to have more health, is the thing, right? But like when you calculate it out in a melee fight, it means their effective HP is quite similar. And there's the extra health we talked about, up to 219 now. Scenario arrows on the way. Okay, Kiljadi's just enjoying the game now. I know what Kiljadi's like. He's like, why has Dimu not left yet? Okay, I guess I'm just going to get everything and then we'll go. It's giving Dimu a potential opportunity here, though. If you lean too hard into Desert Raiders, this is the counter. Nagayari coming. So Nagayari is really cool because it's going to offset a lot of that extra armor. Add in the Bannerman as well. Like, the percentile increases is pretty big. I mean, what? Elite Spearmen, they already hit for a pretty lofty 53 damage. Buff that by an extra, what, 20%? I don't think that UI actually updated. Wait, is Nagayari bugged? I think Nagayari... You guys saw that, right? Maybe the UI is bugged. Because he was already at 38 damage with just Elite. The damage didn't increase by the 20% it's meant to with the 15. We'll think about that later. We've got a clash coming in. Into Trump point as well. Kiljadi's going to stand his ground. We have got the mangonels. Set to burn mode. Gisha trying to get through that front line. The Desert Raiders really need to actually be the ones tanking here. Kiljadi, no way. There's no way. He's starting to concede ground here. The Bagisha count is down to about half of what it was, though. It's come at a high price. A lot of Japanese bodies to get through. Kiljadi is going to be forced back. So step number 1 going well for Dimu. The Izutsu now trying to deal with the castle before the cannon placements can come in. Dimu just needs to keep that Bagisha pump going. Question mark is how doable is it? The farm count is sitting at what? 35 right now. Second wave of troops coming. These are the Desert Raiders. The counter to the Bagisha. Look at how little damage they do. Oh, the health bar barely moves. It's the Spearman doing all the work. The hand cannon is as well. Dimu, only a handful of those to work with, but right now they're not being focus fired down. He's up to 18 Izutsu. Are we going full baldy, boys? I think we are. Which is kind of wild, actually, because Kiljadi's griefing himself right now, guys. The worst thing you can do is be in range mode. You need to melee into these. Remember, they got nerfed a while ago. They lost their melee armor. They kept their ranged. Pushing back against it now. So Dimu, I think he kind of reached the ends of his limits here. Lost all the melee front line. We are going to get a remass into Spears and Zutsu, but I am impressed. I've never seen Azutsu look that good in 2025. Now, admittedly, we're only 7 days in, but most of 2024, this unit looked pathetic as well. It's a good start for Dimmu. And actually, Kiljadi has somehow found himself almost mirrored now in economy. It's 81 to 88. Holy crap. We are going to have more attempts at Normandy. Funnily enough, we are actually also seeing the big boy ships come in. A Zebek just got spawned. For reasons I will not be able to ever explain. But yes, there are Zebeks. There are also extra keep drops. We are still ticking down that timer. It's 3 minutes until a win. Dimmu is pivoting to the south side here. Castle drop coming in from Japan. I mean, this could be a fast breakthrough. This many Azutsu, it shouldn't take long to decimate the wall. Yeah, watch this. Doink, doink. Don't know why he's doing it one by one. Just one blast. Ah, that's right. Let's hit the wall next to the wall we're hitting. The classic. It's a good opening here. But Kiljadi doesn't have to go far. Remember, sacred sites close together on this map. Elite Desert Raiders can't go melee? Wait, really? They were meleeing recently, so that must be a new bug if so. Could someone double confirm that? Because they should be able to. I've seen it plenty of times. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're smoking. They should be fine to go melee. We've seen it plenty recently. Dimmu. The problem is he's going to have to body a site, but he hasn't got the ability to do with his premium units, right? So he needs a lot of cannon fodder. Break from the wall coming in. Shivs ambitiously out. Ah, there you go. Yeah, you see that with the damage? Something's weird about Nagayari. It keeps switching between 32 and 38 damage. Oh, wait, no, that's the Bannerman. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nagayari. Weird crap. Let's put it that way. Flash coming in. Azutsu. Blitz in the keep. The Spearman line, though, he didn't put enough. Horsemen are in. And Horsemen do counter Azutsu. This is Dimmu's last stand. This is the end of the road. Not enough spears in this gunfight. Who brings a cannon to a pony fight? I can't believe this. Dimmu, he tried for a decap. That failed as well. Kiljadi split up the armies beautifully. And now it is undeniable. The Horseman Gangbush caught him off guard. The hand cannoneer switch is coming in. Kiljadi may have a weaker economy. I just don't see how Dimmu ever gets enough together to break through. Damn. What a game. What a series, man. These were really impressive games overall. Kiljadi, a 3-1 victory. I mean, historically, going up as Dimmu. Dimmu has been favored, but Kiljadi begins 2025 by making a statement that this is his year. Scandinavia looking to rise up. The Finnish looking to finish. Reminding people that Dimmu is an honorary Swede. He wasn't born with that beautiful complexion and those almost perfect genetics. No. Kiljadi, he bathed in the gene pool. He thrived in it. He cooked for years to make it to the top, and now he will go all the way through to the grand finals of Midweek Muster 8. And it is going to be an exciting one. I'll catch you all in that chapter.